Welcome students, welcome back to the session. Today we are going to discuss the next configuration that is available in transistor. Just a recap of what we did in the previous class. We discussed about the common base configuration. We discussed that in a transistor there are 3 terminals, and we also discussed that how to feed input which has 2 wire output which has 2 wire, and transistor has 3 wires, 3 terminals. So we said that one of them has to be made common. This was our approach, correct? So now extending our discussion on that, I am taking the next configuration, that is common emitter. In the previous class we saw how the base terminal can be made common, right? Now what we are doing is we are making the emitter terminal common. How to make emitter common? Okay, for that in the previous discussion we took NPN transistor in the form of a rectangular piece. So this discussion I will do with the symbols. I'll use a symbol for that particular transistor. So if I use the symbol, see how just remember what was the symbol, something like this. I have rotated it because I have to make emitter common. So don't think I have drawn this to improve the aesthetic beauty of this topic. No, nothing like that. This I am doing because emitter has to be made common. For that particular thing I am making it. So this is emitter. This is collector, so this is base. Okay, it will not be mentioned, I am mentioning here for our understanding. Next, if it is an NPN transistor, emitter is N, base is P, positive. So what should be the direction? Fast, tell me what is the direction? Current will move from positive to negative. So this is positive, NPN, correct? So P, so your arrow should be like this. This is your NPN transistor. See, practice. You cannot sit and cram and say I am revising. Practice with the concept wherever it is required. Use your concept and try to generate it rather than depend on memory. This is revision, not that one fine day you will sit in a corner of a room and go on cramming it, I am revising. That is of no use. Now we have to generate. See this diagram and just wait and watch in the end what the diagram would be. Okay, so what we have now is we need to make base. We need to make emitter common. How to make it? See, correct? See here. This is what we started with. Now, if you remember in the last session also we did the same thing. Now what we said? Emitter is the forward bias. Collector is reverse bias. So this is the input. This is our input circuit, this is our output circuit. Now, input for emitter is always in forward bias. Your emitter is what is the polarity? N, negative, N, P, N. So forward bias means what? How will you connect the source? Positive. Got it? This is exactly what you have. Forward biasing, current will come this way. Ray, this is your IB. And this is your IE. This is subscript. So, how will you measure the currents? How will you measure? Remember, we will place an ammeter. It will measure IB. And here I will connect a voltmeter. What will it measure? VBE. Done. There's the input circuit. Where will you feed input? This is 2 input device. This is exactly how we were drawing. Okay. Now come to the output side. Here what we will get? This is N, this is P, this is N. Collector is always connected in reverse bias. This is N. So how will you connect? Reverse bias. N will be connected to positive. See, it is reverse bias. So you will have IC in this direction. Positive current will come this way. So how will you measure current? You will place a ammeter here and you will have a voltmeter here. What will you measure? V. How will you draw the output? See, as simple as that. That is what I was telling you, students. First, what was the diagram? And now you see, so many elements we have put in. Nothing has come out of the blue. No assumptions, no adjustments. Isn't it? Is there any adjustment? Is there any? No, we don't have any adjustment. We don't have any adjustment. No assumptions, no approximations, complete logic. Every element which we have placed has a reason, has a logic behind it. Got it? Now this is exactly what is a common emitter configuration. Now what do we have? What study we have here? So first we will take what? Input characteristic curve. What is the input characteristic curve? Again, so here what I need? What I need here? Input elements. What are the input elements? Means elements of input circuit. IB, isn't it? IB, you cannot take IE as the input current. You cannot take. IE is common terminal. How can you take it as input? It's a common thing. IB is your input. So input elements are what? IB and VBE. Now out of these two parameters, what can we find? We can find input resistance. So input resistance will be how much? VBE upon IB. Again here the same thing we will have as we had in case of common base. Again it is forward bias, input characteristic curve. Again the nature of the curve, just a short one I will draw. Here we will draw VBE and here we will draw IB and it is in milliampere. Everything is known to you. So like this we can draw. And the range of input is also the same thing as we saw. There is no difference. Now let us go for the output characteristic curve. Output characteristic curve is also same thing. What are the output elements? So output elements, what are the output elements? IC, VCE. Output elements are IC, VCE. Out of these two, what do we get? Output resistance. We are getting output resistance, RO. It will be what? VCE by IC. Again, if we try to draw the output characteristic curve, well, it will be the same thing. Here we will draw VCE and here we will draw IC in microamperes, and the graph we will get something like this. So these two are going to remain the same thing. There is no difference. What we have output resistance, what we had in case of common base circuit. What we had in case of common base circuit, the same output characteristic we are having here, but the elements are different. What we had in case of common base circuit, input characteristic curve, here also we are having the same thing. What is the difference? The difference is of the elements which are there. Till here it is same. The difference lies in the transfer characteristic. What will be the transfer characteristic? So the transfer characteristic, if you remember, how do we measure transfer characteristics? So transfer characteristics is nothing but, what do we say? Current amplification factor. Current amplification factor. In case of CE configuration, this is what? This is CE. This is CE circuit. In case of CE configuration, current amplification factor is denoted by beta. Compulsorily it is denoted by beta. Beta is equal to output current upon input current. Output current is what here? IC. Input current is what? IB. So beta is IC by IB. Got it? One more thing. Apply Kirchhoff law here. Please apply Kirchhoff law. What you will get? IC is approaching. IB is approaching. So the current law says sum of the approaching current is equal to the sum of the current going away. So again what you are getting? IE is equal to, see, in the previous case also, if you remember, if you have scribbled in some corner of your notebook, check it out. Same equation we had. That is why it is, that time also I told you, this equation will be standard irrespective of what combination you are taking. That is why it is called transistor equation. See here, IE is outgoing current, IB is incoming current, IC is incoming. Sum of the incoming current, sum of the currents approaching a junction is equal to the sum of the outgoing current, sum of the currents moving away from the junction. This is what is the KCL, correct? Kirchhoff current law. See, here also it is equally applicable. That is exactly how we can understand what is called the CE configuration. Now the next question. Do we have current amplification here or not? How to verify? To verify this, I hope this part is clear. So I need some space, so I am taking this space. Now see here, what I am trying to find is, what is the relation between alpha and beta? Means what? I am trying to establish a relation between the two current amplification factors. Alpha is the current amplification factor for a CB circuit, and beta is the current amplification factor for common emitter configuration, that is CE circuit, right? How to establish? Students, concentrate. This is a 3-mark question, sure question. Establish the relation will be given where symbols have usual meaning, like that the question will be. How to start with? To start with, what is the transistor equation? So what I can say is, we know IE is equal to IB plus IC. This is what is known to us, correct? Yes. Now what is alpha? Alpha is IC upon IE is alpha, na? And beta is what? IC upon IB. See, what we will do is, We can write IE by IC, and here I will write IB by IC, and I will write here IC by IC. I am dividing by IC on both sides. I am not doing any big thing. I am not involving any rocket science here. So what do we get? What is IE by IC? Please refer to your notes. Alpha is what? IC upon IE, na? What is alpha? IC upon IE. So this is 1 by alpha. What is IB by IC? 1 by beta. So this is 1 by beta. And here what we get? Plus 1. So what we get now? 1 by alpha minus 1 is 1 by beta. So 1 minus alpha by alpha is 1 by beta. So what I get now? Beta is what? Alpha by 1 minus alpha. This is very important. And this is justified. You will say, how can you say this equation is correct? You can ask, you have all the right. Right? We have also derived, we have not assumed, we have not got equation from any out of the blue. We got alpha is less than 1, correct? See, 1 minus alpha. Beta is a ratio, how can it be negative, correct? So if we got the equation as alpha minus 1, there we can say the equation is wrong. Because alpha is less than 1. And if you had the equation as alpha minus 1, so it should be negative. And beta is what? Beta is a ratio. How can this be negative? So this cross checks us that our equation is perfectly correct. Got it? So this is exactly how we keep on cross checking. Okay. Now that was one part of the question. So your doubt is clear now? Yes. Let us move ahead. So our aim is to find whether beta, which is current amplification factor, is greater than 1 or not, right? Okay, so one small space I will take here. In this much space I will show you only one calculation which will give you a feeling what exactly is this circuit. We know that alpha varies from, we saw alpha is less than 1. How much less than 1? Question arises. How much less than 1? Is it 0.5? Is it 0.1? Is it 0.01? Please think. Please think. Just go back to the CB circuit. What is alpha? Alpha is the current amplification factor in case of common base circuit, wherein we said that there is recombination of the two ions, positive charges, holes and electrons happening. That exactly caused output current less. Remember why the output current was less in common base configuration? It was because, okay, fine, just a small space here. I'll just try to reconstruct that thing. If you remember, we had something like this, NPN. I'll not draw the circuit diagram, I'll show you only the direction of the flow of charges. Remember that time we told direction of electronic current is opposite to the conventional current. This, if you remember, I had shown something like this. So we had also argued 100 electrons, if they start their journey, 99 are able to reach, right? So 0.99 is the fraction of the output current with respect to input current. Now then one more thing we said, base is a thinly doped semiconductor. Why thinly doped? Because I want to bring down this recombination percentage. So when I am designing the transistor, when I am designing a transistor, what I keep in mind is emitter should be heavily doped, that we have seen. Collector should be moderately doped, that we have seen. Base should be very thinly doped. How much thinly doped? Calculation is this way, maximum 5% should be the recombination. If 100 electrons start their journey to reach here, maximum 5 electrons should be allowed for recombination. You cannot have more than that. If you have designed more than that, it's a waste of energy. So when we design a transistor, we keep this in mind that the recombination ratio should not be more than 5%. So if the recombination is less than 5%, this means alpha will be between what? 0.99 to 0.95. Maximum 5% if I say, this means if 100 electrons start their journey, 95 maximum, not more than that, no, not less than that. I am not allowing 94. So maximum is 5 recombination happening. So alpha will lie between what? 0.95 to 0.99. You cannot get more than 0.99, and you should not go less than 0.95. Please understand the English statement. You cannot go beyond 0.99. You cannot have 0.995. You cannot have fraction of electron recombining. Either the complete electron will combine or it will not recombine. You cannot make 1/3 of the electron neutralize. So either it is 0.99, it cannot be more than that. You should not have less than 0.95. This is what we need. Okay. So what I say completely, now we can have alpha is equal to 0.95 to 0.99. Correct? This is what we have. Well, take alpha as 0.95 and tell me what beta you are getting. You have a relationship here, na? So take alpha as 0.95. Students, you will get the shock of the day. If alpha is 0.95, beta is 0.95 by 0.05, and that is 19. Got it? So beta is 19 means what? Output current upon input current is 19, which means that the output current is 19 times the input current. Can you visualize this? Output current is 19 times the input current. So if 1 ampere is the input, 19 amperes is the output. This is amplification. This is called amplification. This is increase. Therefore, CE circuit is definitely an amplification circuit, not CB. In CB, what did we get? Output current is 0.95 times input current. It is less than 1. It has reduced. Where is the amplification? Isn't it? See how we can work out. So students, this is exactly how. And you will get the shock, even a huge shock, if you take alpha as 0.99. Take alpha as 0.99. What you will get beta? 99. 99 times it is increasing. So if I use an input as AC, okay, this is it. This is it. Output will be what? 99. 99 times this huge one you will get. See, this is the kind of output wave you will get. This is amplification. And students, exactly this circuit is used in what you call as, home theater. Fancy word, na? Very fashionable word you are using in daily life. Home theater, car stereo, amplifiers. It is this circuit. Amplifier, see, you simply turn a knob and suddenly a loud noise, amplified voice comes, na? Amplified. How? This is what is going on there. It's a CE circuit. Okay, take it this way. If you have ever seen the rock show, rock concerts, Bryan Adams, right? Springsteen's, all those. Now the person who is holding the microphone, he cannot shout at that intensity, that level. How his voice is getting amplified? This way. How? See, I'll show you how exactly it happens. because those things are the practical usage of amplifier circuit. See, I am using alpha is 0.99, so beta will be how much? 99. I have designed an amplifier with a beta 0.99, 99 times. Okay. One output. Here I have a speaker, microphone, and here I have a speaker. Suppose if I give 1 ampere, 99 amperes comes out. Let us say 100 for our easy calculation. 100, right? This 100 I will make input to another CE amplifier. This 100 output I'll connect another series. 100 is the input. So 100 is the input. What will be the output? 100 into 100, 10,000. 10,000 watts, 10,000 amperes. And you will get a shock if you find power, because power will have I square. I square. Here the current is 100. Square it, 10 power 4. So the power, just imagine what is the power output. That is why you have, huge big speakers. Power output you call. You see, in daily life, speakers, amplifiers, if you go to purchase an amplifier, what they will ask you, what is the power output you need? You want 20 watt amplifier, you want 100 watt amplifier, you want 400 watt amplifier. See, why power? Power output. Current is not measured. Power output. Power gain. If you remember in the previous lecture only we have seen current gain, voltage gain, power gain. Same thing we can do here also. Same thing. So power gain, there we saw power gain in CB circuit was what? Alpha square RO by RI. So here it will be beta square RO by RI. So beta is 99, let us say 100. Beta square will be how much? 10 power 4, 10,000. See the kind of power output we are getting. So if I connect, just imagine if I connect 5 amplifiers in series, and I make you stand in front of that speaker, you will be thrown out. The kind of wave which will come out of it, it will go in the power of 10 power to 100, 10 power 2, 10 power 4, 10 power 8, like that it will go. That is why CE circuit is known as an amplifier circuit. Please remember, in the board exam, if they say very diplomatically, the question is framed, explain a typical amplifier circuit. Don't explain CB circuit. CB circuit is not amplifier. CE circuit is amplifier circuit. Please understand that. That is exactly how we can understand what is the common emitter configuration. I hope you can make out now. Please, in your daily life also, when you are talking of amplifiers, keep this logic in mind when you are discussing. So you can find the different gains also. If we want to tabulate the gains of a CE configuration, so let us see what are the gains. So the gains of CE configuration will be, first I will take current gain. Current gain is what? Current gain is output current upon input current. This is what is current gain. So output current, this is said to be beta, and we know beta is very much greater than 1. So therefore there is current gain. The second part we say is voltage gain. So when we talk of voltage gain is nothing but output voltage upon input voltage. This is what we call as voltage gain. So V is equal to I into R output. So here we have output R output. I will write input R input, and output current by input current is said to be beta. So this is beta times output resistance by input resistance. We know beta is greater than 1, so this is also very much greater than 1. So there is voltage gain. What about power gain? So when we talk of power gain is nothing but output power upon input power. Output power, what we will write? It is nothing but IO by II whole square, output square, RO by RI, right? So we can write this as nothing but beta square output current by input current. So resistance, sorry, this will be very much greater than 1 because beta itself is greater than 1. So beta square will be even more than 1. So it will be very much greater than 1. So there is power gain. So in a common emitter circuit configuration, what we are having is there is power gain. So output power is extremely greater than the input power. Now how exactly are we getting this? Because we are connecting a input source from that. So if you will say, sir, how exactly 1 ampere became 19 ampere? Yes, we are supplying power. It is not happening on its own. We do have power supply to it. So the supply is taken and it is amplifying that power supply. You will connect an input supply to it. Now from that it is amplifying. Okay, it is not happening on its own. This is what we have as the common emitter configuration. Well students, then common collector configuration. Well, when we talk of common collector configuration, then we don't have anything as such to as common collector configuration. Why? Because common collector configuration, if you see common collector configuration, collector will form the input. If the collector forms input, and how the collector is connected in a transistor, it is collected in reverse bias. So your input, if itself is in reverse bias, where is the question of output? Because in reverse bias, do you get any output? If a junction is connected in reverse bias, can we get any output? We cannot get. We always get output in forward bias. If you remember the modes in which we connect a transistor PN junction to an external source, we saw there are two modes, forward bias and reverse bias. In forward bias only there was output. In reverse bias, was there an output? No. Extremely high resistance is there. So here, if I say common collector configuration, then the input you are feeding to the collector, and the collector is in reverse bias. So if you shout loud, a hissing sound will come. This exactly is the concept which is used nowadays in jammers. So students, well, that is what is essentially required. Knowledge of all these things. Jammers, we are jamming the waves. When VIP movement happens, then jammers are used to jam the electronic devices. They are based on this particular configuration. Otherwise, we don't have any other use like that. Anyway, that was about the different types of configurations we have in transistors. Relation between the things are also known. Well students, let us discuss about logic gates. What are logic gates? Why is it named like this? What is a gate? Normal gate. Let us start understanding from that. Normal gate. Gate is what? Household, you have seen gate, gate open, close and all those things you see. What is the function of the gate? Gate regulates, gate controls the entry and exit of people. Na? This is what is the function of a gate. Here also the same thing, gate. Here you don't have those iron gates and all. It's a logic gate, it is not a manual gate. Logic gate, a gate which works on logic. The entry and exit is controlled by logic. Logic, when we say, means what? You will have one statement and you will have answer either yes or no. That is what is called the logical statement. Allow the charge, yes or no. This is what you will get. This is a logical statement. If the arrangement says yes, current is allowed, system is in forward bias. The PN junction, the diode goes in forward bias, it allows. If the logic says no, it will suddenly go into reverse bias. It will not allow current. This is logic. So gate, entry and exit of current in a circuit is controlled by logic. Such an arrangement is called logic gate. This we are achieving by using diodes and transistors. How? One simple live example I will give you. I think you are aware of inverters. How does the inverter work? You have emergency lights at home. How does the lamp work? Ever observed? No need to observe. Apply your mind. How does it work? If you have ever seen, when there is a power supply, emergency light will not switch on. It will be in off state. And when the power supply goes, suddenly it becomes on. See, there is a logic. What is the logic? If power supply is there, no output. It will not glow. No. If our power supply is not there, give output. See, logical statement. So the statement is there a power supply? Yes or no? If yes, go in reverse bias. Don't let the bulb glow, lamp glow. If no, let it glow. Inverters, household inverters, na? If there is power supply, inverter is not giving output, your lamps and fan is not working on the output of inverter. If there is no current, suddenly it switches on. This is what is the logic gate. See, is there current? Yes or no, only two options. Can't say is not there. Either yes or no. That is logic. Yes, no output. It will not. So where is the current going, you will say? It is not venturing in the market. No. It is recharging the cells. The battery which you have as an inverter, it is recharging their secondary cells. It is recharging. And the moment the current switches off, you are recharging. Now it will start discharging. See, it's a logic gate. We are achieving this thing by using diodes and transistors. See, that is what is logic gate. So now let us discuss what are the types of logic gates, right? So logic gates, understood now what is a logic gate? So this is exactly how it works. So students, repeatedly I keep stressing on this fact, whatever we are studying in physics is around us. See, everything, every topic, when I start I give you live examples so that you get comfortable with the topic. Reason being, don't think that this is limited to books, it is history. No. It is very much in around you. We have to search and find out. So there are two types of gates. Why you will say two type of gate, right? Because one will be called as pure gates. So you will say the other is impure gate, nothing like that. The other is combined. It is a combined, means combination of pure gates. One is pure gate, second is the combined, means combination of pure gates. So pure gates are also known as unary gates. Unary, single. Combined are also known as binary gates. I hope you can make out the meaning. No need to remember anything. See how easy it is. Now unary gates, single gates. What are they? OR gate, AND gate, NOT gate. See, they are all pure gates. Pure gates. Binary or the combined gates. Combine two gates. Not or, NOR gate. This is pronounced as NAND gate. This is not NAND gate. This is NAND gate. N is not and. Combination of and not. Combination of or and not. And then let us take one more, which is said as XOR gate. Read as XOR gate. It is exclusive OR gate. It is said as exclusive OR gate. Okay, this way. See the combination, right? Now let us see how each one. What exactly is an OR gate? I think you have done something called Boolean algebra or Venn diagram, right? De Morgan's law. Different names we can give, it makes no difference. They are one and the same thing. OR gate, English meaning of OR, not Hindi or. OR means either this or this. Or this or this. Means anyone. Correct? OR will mean what? Of all the combination, anyone. Either A or B or C or D is correct. What is the meaning? In MCQ, what is the meaning? 4 choices are given, any one choice is correct. Either A is correct, or B is correct, or C is correct, or D. So how many are correct? Only one. Which means that in an OR gate, if any one condition of all the available conditions is true, you get output. If A is true, if B is true, if C is true, or if D is true, any one, there is output. The statement is true. This is the meaning of OR gate. OR. Symbol is this. This is the symbol of OR gate. We write like this. This is Y output. This is A input. This is B. If you remember 2 inputs, this is what you have. Okay. And it is written this way, A plus B. This is not plus. Don't read it as plus. This is OR. Boolean algebra. A or B. This is how we write. And this is how the symbol is. Fine. Now, where do we see this thing in daily life? Na? Very right. See, I'll devise one circuit diagram just to give you a feel of how we use this in daily life. See, OR gate, huh? We have a simple circuit diagram like this. Let us say this is switch S1. Let us say this is switch S2. Let us say this is lamp. Got it? Now see here, students, concentrate. If I try to write, well, I don't think we need this, so let me take it out. I expect you have written it. So now, see here. I will say, I will make a table, see here, S1, S2, and here I will say, output, lamp glows. Let us fill the table. How? S1 is closed. S2 is open. S1 is closed. This is open. Will the lamp glow? Will the lamp glow? Yes. For the lamp to glow, current should come. My goodness. This is a weird circuit diagram. This is it. Yeah. Now it is correct. Will the lamp glow? Yes, the lamp will glow, because if you close it, current will not go in this path, current will go in this path, and it is passing through lamp. Lamp glows. So what I will say? Yes. See the logical statement. How we can convert? Suppose I open this and I close this. Will the lamp glow? I have opened S1 and I will close S2. Yes, it doesn't matter which switch you are closing and opening. Na? What matters is whether there is current or not. Yes. Let us say this is closed and this is also closed. Will it glow? Definitely. It won't matter. See, our interest is not which one is open, as I told you. And suppose both are open. Now, if both are open, only if there is a magic lamp will glow. Without current, how can the lamp glow? Not possible. Now analyze the situation. Any one of the two is closed, lamp is glowing. Any one, this is what is OR. So convert this into a statement. If either S1 or S2 is closed, lamp close. If both of them are closed, definitely there is closed. There is no logic there. But the logic happens when one of the two. See, if one of the two switches are closed, lamp glows. This is logic. So how the OR gate goes? If of all the input is any one of the condition is true, output is true. So you see how we draw the truth table. Very dangerous word has been given. See, the name is given as truth table. Nowadays the word truth itself is not existing. See, and we are giving it as a truth table, right? Irony. Truth table. Now what is the truth table here? Truth table, you know, it is drawn for this A, B and Y. See there, Boolean expression. Truth table. For that expression we write. How? For close means you are allowing current. Boolean expression says you have to give 1. And for no current, 0. So in Boolean expression, Boolean algebra, we have only 2 digits, zeros and ones. There is no 2, 3, 4, 5, nothing like that. Now, 1 is true. One is, there is, see here, close. Open, if it is open, can there a current flow? No. That is called 0. So 1 means there is current, 0 means there is no current. So if A is true, B is false, there is current. You can write this way, instead of this, true, false, this will be true, because any one of it is true. Again check it, A, false, true, this has to be true. Any one, it doesn't matter which one, true, true, will make it true. False, false, has to be false, unless until you are the biggest liar on the planet, it will become true. See, this is truth table. You can convert this in Boolean expression. How? If you want to see this in the form of a Boolean expression, I can write it this way. Instead of true, write 1. For false, write 0. So here you will get 1. So 1, 0, 1. 0, 1, it is also 1. 1 and 1. Now don't add there 1 plus 1, make it 2. There is no 2 in Boolean algebra. It is 1 only. This is 0 and this is 0. So this is also 0. See, this is also one way by which you can write the truth table. Got it? Now see, in daily life, practical life, where are we using this? This was one arrangement. One more I will tell you. See, in greenhouse effect, if you have heard of greenhouse effect, in greenhouse effect, 2 factors are very much dangerous for the plant growth. One is percentage of carbon dioxide, second is temperature. Both are dangerous. So we have to control these two in greenhouse effect. Percentage of carbon dioxide, let us say it should not be more than say 15%. Or say, if I say it should not be more than 300 ppm, parts per million, if you remember. If you are strong in chemistry, this is way how you measure, na? 300 ppm. Second, the temperature should not go beyond 25 degrees Celsius. If the temperature crosses 25, 35, 40, the whole vegetation will burn out. Now, how will you control these two? You cannot afford standing in front of the greenhouse whole day throughout your life and keep on watching the thermometer, keep on watching the ppm meter, that if it is crossing, then we will do it. Definitely not. I will use this concept. I'll use this concept. How? I will connect a thermometer and I will connect the ppm meter, and I will connect, instead of a lamp, an alarm bell. I'll set this. If the temperature is more than 27 degrees Celsius, go in forward bias. It will allow the current. Alarm will go. I will come to know wherever I am. I will put a pager. I will get a paging message. I will put many things. I don't have to stand in front of it. Second, suppose carbon dioxide crosses 300 ppm. Again, it will allow. See this. And if both are crossing the dangerous limit, fair enough. Again, it will get it. See, this is how we are using in daily life. This is what we can do. Many such applications are there, provided we think. We think. Like say, for example, if you have observed, see, I'll give you one small example as well here. If you have observed the signboards when you are moving in the city, midnight, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, also the signboards are on. Who is there to see the signboards? Are there anyone on the road to see 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock signboards? No one is there. But you see the kind of power wastage which is happening. Halogen lamps will be there. They consume a lot of power. Now suppose that if we apply little bit of knowledge and common sense which we have gained in the school level, I'm not talking of college level, school level only here. I'll connect a timer here, digital timer, digital clock. The moment clocks reads 12, night 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, trip, go in reverse bias. Automatically everything will switch off. It can be done. See, no one has to go there to switch it off. Just if you save power from midnight 2 o'clock to morning 6 o'clock, fair enough, 4 hours you have saved power. That power you can utilize the next day. See, like that there are many places in daily life where we can use such concepts, provided we have the will inside. That is what I always tell. Yes, anyway. Now what this is about, what is called as the OR gate. I hope you get the questions based on this. In entrance exam, definitely you will get questions. What type of question, that also I will tell you. Two types of questions are normally framed from logic gates in entrance exam. One is they will give you a Boolean expression and they will say which of the 4 choices represents the circuit diagram. From Boolean expression you have to generate a circuit diagram, or a circuit diagram will be given to you and you have to generate a Boolean expression for it. This is one type of question. Second is a circuit diagram will be given to you. They will say input A is 0, B is 1, find the output. That way. These are the two kinds of question which is very commonly asked in the NEET exams. The second logic gate that we have to discuss is after OR gate, AND gate. Okay, so let us start from here only, we'll have more space then. AND gate. AND, English meaning of AND. And in terms of De Morgan's law, in terms of set theory, in terms of what all those things, it is nothing but intersection. OR is union of sets. OR is union, A or B you read, union. In De Morgan's law, A union B, that is OR. Okay, and AND gate, AND is intersection, so common. This means AND, if this condition and this condition and this condition all are true, then only there is output. Understand the meaning of word and. Or was if this or this or this, any one of the input, if it is true, we got output. But in and everything has to be true, then only there is output. If any one of the condition becomes false, no output. This is AND gate. Got it? So AND gate, the symbol is like this. See this. The symbol is this. This is for the AND gate. These are the inputs A, B, and this is Y. And the Boolean expression for it is written this way: Y is equal to A. This is dot Chandrabindu. A dot B. So this is said as A and B. Got it? Now, practically where do we see it? No problem. See, just instantly I will generate one circuit diagram. See here. See, very simple. See, S1, S2, and this is lamp. Again, make this S1, S2, and here if I say lamp glows. If S1 is open, S2 is closed, will the lamp glow? Not possible. Circuit is open. No. If this is closed and this is open, will it glow? Again, no. If this is closed, this is closed, will it glow? Yes. If both are open, under no circumstance it can glow. See, what is the condition? Make it now. If all the conditions, if all the inputs are true, then we get output. This is exactly what we have. Got it? So if I try to write the truth table for it, see here, A, B and Y. If A is true, B is false, no output, it will be false. If this is false, this is true, then also it is false. If this is true, definitely this is true. See, if you understand one gate, successive gates become very easy. How fast we finished this one, see. Got it? This is exactly what is an AND gate. Now, let us take the NOT gate. NOT gate is the one peculiar gate which has one input. The symbol of NOT gate is this, A and Y. There is only one input. Got it? And the Boolean expression is this way: Y is A bar. Means what? Negate it. I gave you the example of inverter. Inverter is a NOT gate. How? Check here. A and Y. If this is true, this will become false. So if there is power, no output. That is what is inverter. If there is no power, yes, they give output. See, this is the NOT gate is used in inverters. See, this is the design. Got it? These are the pure gates. These are the three pure gates that we see. Understood? Now, let us see the combinations. Well, students, in the combination, first I am taking NOR gate. So, NOR gate, it is a combination of OR and NOT. So, the question arises, which one will come first? So, the question arises, to which gate will you provide input? To NOT gate? To OR gate. So the logic of our thinking says our input has two wires. Which of the two gate has a two input? OR gate. So first input will be fed to the OR gate. Output of the OR gate is single, that will becomes input to the NOT gate, as simple as that. So NOR gate, how it will be? It's a OR gate. OR gate is this, correct? Two inputs, A and B. Output of this, let us say Y dash, it will act as input to the NOT gate, and the final output I got as Y. It is also, in short, drawn this way. You can draw it this way, A, B, and a nose ring here. See this is Y. This is the symbol for, condensed symbol for a NOR gate. Got it? So what will be the truth table for it? In order to generate the truth table, students, see here, A, B, then make Y dash intermediate column, and then final output. Never make one column for only output, final output. Introduce intermediate ones also. You will not commit any mistake. Y dash is the output of OR gate. Y dash is the output of OR gate. So I will write here out 1 0 0 1 1 1 0 0. Got it? Let us say we take this 4 combination. Now work out. It's an OR gate. 1 0 will give 1, 0 1 will give 1, 1 1 will give 1, 0 0 will give 0. Right? This is output of an OR gate. Now negate it, because NOT gate is there. Negate 1 0 1 0 1 0 0 will give 1. See, as simple as that. See, who says that this is difficult? So students, it's as simple. You will be given like that. You will be given like this network, and they will say, what is the output if A is 0, B is 1? Got it? Like that questions will be there. They will give you A is 0, B is 1. What is the output? Trace it. So you write the table like this and make it. That's all. As simple as that. This is what is called the NOR gate. What about the NAND gate? NAND gate. The NAND gate is AND gate. So you will feed input to the AND gate because it has two inputs. Output of this, which is Y dash, you feed it to NOT gate, and the final output is taken. So condensed way, how to represent it? This is an AND gate with two inputs, and you will put a nose ring here. See, this is your condensed form for the NAND gate. So what will be the truth table? Again, very simple here. So you take it A, B, then Y dash, and then Y. Now again those 4 combinations let us work out. 1 0, 0 1, 1 1 and 0 0. Let us take the 4 combinations. What it says? AND gate. 1 0 will give you what? Output? 0. 0 1 will give you 0. 1 1 will give you 1. 0 0 is 0. Now output of AND gate is fed as input to the NOT gate. So negate it. If you negate it, what you will get? 0 will become 1. 0 will become 1. 1 will become 0. 0 will become 1. See how we can frame the NAND gate. That is exactly how the NAND gate can be visualized. Now coming to the end of the gates, that is exclusive OR gate. Let us understand what is an exclusive OR gate. So an exclusive OR gate how to find or how to frame an exclusive OR gate. Exclusive OR gate, that is also known as XOR gate. XOR gate, exclusive OR gate. See here student, one thing we forgot. What will be the Boolean expression for the NAND gate? Y is equal to A and B, negate it. This is the Boolean expression for the NAND gate. Okay, now exclusive OR gate. How to find out? OR gate. Either this or this. That is what we have. So, the Boolean expression goes this way. Y is equal to A and not B, or not A and B. So what we are getting? A and not B. So this is A. Correct? Not A and B. So this is B. So A or B. This is called exclusive OR gate. Students, please understand. This way it is. So how many gates are here? Pure gates. One is an AND gate, NOT gate, OR gate, AND gate, NOT gate. 5 gates are there. This is made up of combination of 5 gates, in which OR gate has 2 inputs. So if you want to trace the diagram, OR gate, this is an OR gate, right? This is the final output, correct? These are the 2 inputs. These are the 2 inputs. What are the inputs? A and not B, and not A and B. These are the inputs. Draw the circuit diagram backwards. See, this is the output of an AND gate. AND gate. Output of an AND gate. AND gate. The inputs of AND gate are what? A, not B. Not B. Output of the input of this is what? Not A and B. Not B means what? There is a NOT gate here. See here. So this is A, this is B. And here there is a NOT gate. So again we have here A and not A and B. See here. See how we apply reverse and we get it. Now there are 2 A's and 2 B's. Na? Use the series combination. See, join these 2 and join these 2. How will you join? Take a jump. Don't jump from your seat. This is what you have. See here, as simple as that. See, if you give A has come here, NOT gate, so not A. B, so not A and B, not A and B. Come to this. A, to B you gave not, so not B. So not A and not B. These are the 2 inputs to the OR gate, final output. See? So learn this. Students, practice this type of combination. This is normally there in the entrance exam. This won't be there in your board exam. So be assured about it. Such type of complications will always be there in the entrance paper only. Right? That is why I wanted to discuss the OR gate. Other gates like AND gate, OR gate and NOT gate, these type of questions are normally there in the board exam. Fine. So this is exactly how the logic gate is to be analyzed, and you have to make yourself strong in how to write the truth table for any given Boolean expression. So this is called Boolean expression. In the entrance exam, this statement will be given and 4 such circuit diagrams will be given. You have to find out, or circuit diagram will be given, 4 such equations will be given. You have to select which one is correct. So this is one type of question. Second type of question is, they will say what is the final output. A mesh of gates are given and it will be given to you. If A is 1 and B is 0, how much is Y? Let us try that. If A is 1, B is 0, what will be the final output? Now try this. A is 1, so this is 1. B is 0, 0, not gate, so this is 1. 0 will negate it, na? So now 1 and 1 on AND gate will become what? 1. Come to this. A is 1, not gate, so it is 0. B is 0, so it is 0. AND gate, 0 and 0 makes it 0. It's an OR gate, 1 and 0 will give you what? Finished. As simple as that. Don't get scared by the diagram, by the arrangement of the gates here. They are designed to scare you, so don't fall in the trap. This is exactly how you are supposed to trace the output. And students, I expect you will be practicing on this particular thing, so that any question from the logic gate, you should not skip it, so that you can get +4 marks out of it.